It looks like Ronda Rousey's time with WWE is coming to an end. This, according to Dave Meltzer of the Wrestling Observer newsletter, who says that Ronda Rousey has given WWE, quote, a hard stop, unquote, on her time with the company. And this is a massive story. I'm going to fill you in on all the details. Before I do, though, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Ronda Rousey, the biggest star in combat sports at one point in her career, signed with WWE, remember, back in 2018, and she was one of the biggest signings in the company's history. Remember, Ronda Rousey in 2015, there was no one bigger in combat sports than her. She was everything. She was bigger than Conor at the time. She was bigger than anyone in WWE could even imagine to be. And there was so much buzz when she first came in. Remember, she did the big, I'm going to point at the sign thing at Asuka when she won the Royal Rumble in 2018. And everything from that first moment in that first year of her time in WWE just seemed to be perfect. They could not have gotten it any better than they did in that first year. Her initial run from the title defenses, the way they built her up, her undefeated streak going into the end of her run at WrestleMania 35 in that triple threat match, everything was great. And her second run in the company, ever since she returned back in 2022 and won the Royal Rumble, her second run has been anything but like her first run. It has been very underwhelming at times, disappointing at times, and let's be honest, it's been bad. Just frankly bad at times. And to see where Ronda Rousey started or how she was presented and how she was brought into the company to where she is now and you know, like I talked about this. I've discussed this in past videos. I thought that if there was someone on the main roster who could make those women's tag team titles feel important, it was Ronda Rousey teaming up with Shayna Baszler. And while I thought I was right, come to learn I'm a little wrong about that, because the way that they lost the belts, and now that we're hearing these reports that Ronda's leaving and her time with the company is over, it's just kind of once again puts the brakes on those title belts, and it makes them feel like, you know, trinkets on a Christmas tree, as Hulk Hogan would say. Anyway, but going back to Ronda, like this is just it really is disappointing for me, and it's not because I don't want her to pursue other stuff that she might want to pursue or anything like that. It's just, given how her first run went, I really wanted to see her in her second run, you know, be dominant in the way that she was, and we just never got that. She never got back to that point. Continuing this, this is a quote from Dave Meltzer in Wrestling Observer Radio, and I quote, "This was always the plan. It kept getting delayed, and then Ronda got hurt, and the thing was, and I don't know the date, and it might be SummerSlam, it might be a little after. The deal is that Ronda has a hard out. She gave a date. That's my date, because I remember talking to someone there, and it's like, quote, I know they're going to do this. I guess I make a big match at WrestleMania. And she was like, no, her out is ... And they gave me the date, but it's long before WrestleMania. So basically what Meltzer said in that word salad right there was that Ronda was originally pitched for something for Mania, and then they were like, well, no, she has a hard stop at this date, and it seems to be long before WrestleMania. So SummerSlam would seem like a very, you know, not appropriate, but a very understandable and you know, I think easy to come to conclusion for that reason, because it is the second biggest event that WWE puts on in the year. And in many ways, if you're going to go out, if you're Ronda Rousey, what better way to go out than wrestling one of your best friends in the world, someone whose career in WWE, you know, you will always be tied to no matter what. The four horsewomen of UFC or MMA, whatever you want to call them, were a thing. And Shayna Baszler, Ronda Rousey, and Marina Shafir and company, like all of them were like tied together, and we never got that four horsewomen of MMA versus four horsewomen of WWE thing, and it looks like now we never will, because Mercedes Moné is gone and doing stuff in New Japan. She likely is going to be in AEW at some point, you would think. Ronda's leaving. Of course, you have, Marina Shafir signed with AEW, where her husband also competes. So there's like that tie there. But, like that's just one part of this. And again, Ronda leaving is a massive deal, because whether or not you thought her run was entertaining, whether or not all this stuff, she's still one of your biggest stars. And when one of your biggest stars leaves, it's not only a sign of, hey, maybe we didn't use this person right because they don't seem to want to be here. And that's not me saying like Ronda Rousey's like disgruntled or whatever, but like there are only a few reasons why. Like maybe she's just done with wrestling. And could she have stayed longer? Maybe. And maybe if you gave her better creative and if you built her up like you did in that first run that she had, she would have stayed a little bit longer. But we'll never know. And again, whatever you think of Ronda personally, whatever you think about Ronda Rousey, and her promos, the truth is that when she gets in between those ropes, she's still one of the better wrestlers in the entire company. And she feels different when she's in there, because damn well, like that's the thing about Ronda Rousey, the mystique and all that stuff about her. Damn well when she gets in the ring, it doesn't matter who it is, whether it's Charlotte, whether it's Becky, whoever. If she wanted to, she could lay anyone on that roster out. Doesn't matter. Like, she would destroy them, because she's Ronda freaking Rousey. That's just what she does. She's trained to do that. And that, like, I know a lot of fans have not been high on her second run. I haven't either, but that mystique, even at the end, it still means something. I don't know, but we'll see what happens here. Of course, a match with Shayna Baszler seems to be the logical conclusion at SummerSlam now that they're broken up and Shayna's turned on Ronda. But Ronda Rousey seems to be leaving WWE. What do you guys think, though, about this? I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on Ronda Rousey leaving? What are your thoughts on her second run compared to her first run? What could WWE have done better with Ronda? I want to hear from you in the comment section below. Drop that in. Be sure to also hit that like button, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Until next time, be happy, be healthy, and as always, keep it real.